welcome to this meeting of Aquadac. So we've been switching to a mastermind. I always say brainstorming, a mastermind format. And what we're going to do today, I posted like a little quick agenda that I'll also share here. We just got done the section on, oh, here we go. We just got done like the hellos. Hello, Rosemary. Good to see you.
Hello, hello. Good to see you too.
So now we're going to go around and we're going to do a roundtable discussion. So the theme today, or the subject today, is content creation. I know that Corellia has shown me a lot of different things in content creation, and pretty much anybody I interact with, they have completely different methods for content creation. Rosemary also showed me a lot about Canva. So yeah, like there's just a lot that we can teach each other. I have some things that I look forward to showing you about, like AI. I thought it would be nice to do a DALL-E. So I'm going to go through a little bit of like how to get better images with DALL-E. And then you guys are welcome to share anything that you want. So I would like to offer, I don't know, Corellia, I know that you're sort of in the transition or leaving. I don't know if you can still talk on the bus or whatever, but I wanted to give you the option if you had something that you wanted to share first. Or maybe not. Okay. I can't hear you. You're muted. You're still muted.
Hey guys, so I was explaining the driver that, and he said that he has in mind that I'm joining the meeting and I can speak, but also my headset that I have now that's really bad, so I'm sorry for the audio. But yeah, I'm gonna be I think I'll do my best to stay in, and as soon as my battery doesn't run, I guess I can take my break now. What you saying? Were you asking something? Sorry.
I was just saying if you wanted to share anything, just because of where you are and if you're moving, like I didn't know if you had time, because I know you seemed like you wanted to share stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm in Romania still now. I was 2 weeks with this family in the mountains, and it was really, really amazing. But now I'm back in Bucharest, and then I'm going to Spain pretty soon on November 4th. So I already have, I need to sort things out, and I'm gonna be there going to San Sebastian, which is in the Basque country, see some friends I'm gonna stay with, and then from there I'm gonna probably find another volunteer thing. I already found a really cool place, but I haven't got an answer yet. So we'll see.
Okay, well, it's great to get your update. I did mean like if you wanted to share content creation stuff, but I understand you're like probably super moving and busy and a good time. So
well, yeah, recently I've been using this
computer flip a coin.
Webpic.com, I think. Yeah, it's an open source platform where you can create get something from here. It's a platform where you can create PDFs, you can create also social content and stuff like that. And yeah, it's been great for me because I don't know, it's free, like you don't have to pay anything, and they don't have any sort of limitations so far. So that's the one I'm using right now, pretty much.
Awesome. Yeah, that looks really cool, and I think just taking a brief look at it, it kind of looks like in a different style than what Canva would do. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to be a little bit less of a host. What we're gonna do, Curly, you can now if you have anything else, any other things, you can share it, or you can ask for somebody to go next or pick somebody. If anybody doesn't want to go, you can just like pass, as well as if you pass and then you think of something later, that's okay. You can also share it.
Okay, you want me to pick somebody?
Yeah.
I have a break. Okay. Sorry, say again. I'm trying to take my charger out. I'm so sorry, guys.
Okay. Yeah.
What did you say?
Yeah. Well, then if somebody else wants to go for next, they can volunteer, or I was just sharing like the format, so you can pick somebody if nobody kind of volunteers.
Yeah, I can pick you then.
Okay. I will go. Cool. So, I guess, I would kind of like to share what tools I've been using. I have been using Canva a lot, just because it's really easy. They also release like a bunch of new AI things, and they have a really nice reel about it on their website. I don't have like Canva Pro, so I haven't used that, but it does look really cool. So like one thing I've been using Canva for lately is to bounce out like short videos for the outros. Just because like I usually use ScreenFlow, and it's kind of annoying to like do an end card just because it's like, I already edited this whole video. So in Canva, it just makes it super easy to put like a good looking title and then animate that, and then make like a short and professional looking end or beginning to a video. But what I really want to share is a quick kind of like rundown of what I would recommend anyone to do. Let me see if I could find this is the right window. If they want to use AI to generate images. Okay, so we're seeing WePick, right? Okay. Yeah. So like what to do to use AI to generate images. So this kind of applies to no matter like what you want to get back from AI, but you want to know like how to talk in the language of the model. What that means is, not only are these models trained on a bunch of data, they are trained to target specific words, and we don't always know exactly what those words are. Sometimes we do. Also, you can often use words that aren't those exact words, and it'll have a positive impact on your performance. So one thing that you can do is to just Google like what are the keywords for this particular model. So you could be like what keywords does Dolly understand? And then like there's just like, so there's a like Reddit posts that'll show you these different things that you can like say to that model. So you have to test and see if all these things work, but I can say like fisheye lens. So that's like a keyword I would want to target. So you can do it like something like I have here. I'm kind of combining two topics. So number one, like I could use the keyword like fisheye lens like that, or I could just say like through a fisheye lens. So I can define that keyword and then say how I want it to change, right? So that's what I'm doing down here. I'm saying like, okay, yeah, I know that you understand this, hopefully. So I want it to look like a GoPro fisheye lens. And it may or may not understand that well. But if it's something like this where, you probably don't even need to be specific, you can just like put it right here. So this format is basically like key value or like parameter, what would it be, like parameter and like what the parameter is set to. And this is just something like I found online. Like I was like, okay, in my first search a few days ago, like these are some of the things that I found, and I picked the ones that I liked. So what I want to do is we're gonna go ahead and like see, we'll see what it looks like without any of these keywords. So we'll do like just a regular thing like this. And also it's kind of good to know like when you're using when you're using like ChatGPT, this is not the actual prompt that it's going to run. It's going to like change that prompt and then generate the images from the prompt that it creates. But we should still have like kind of like a noticeable performance by sort of like being more specific. Also with images, like it's really important to show like how you want it to be done. So like a realistic model, and again, this might not be the exact like best keyword to use, but you could say something like art style. So again, like a lot of these times, these parameters, they seem like very specific, but they don't necessarily have to be. So we just put this thing through ChatGPT or through DALL-E at first, and we have some interesting pictures of this koala bear who has a bunch of crystals and oh yeah, this is fun. So now we're going to see like if we can get a little bit better results. But yeah, like so what I've been doing is like I'll generate an image here in DALL-E 3 or something like that, and then I'll take it into Canva, right? And then I can add the titles and things like that, because like as some of you, certainly Joe, will know, text doesn't necessarily work very well here. So that's what I got. Just a brief overview or like a recap of what I was talking about. Number one, like when you're chatting with AI, try to figure out like what keywords it understands. Just do a little bit of Googling and then save up a list of like the ones that you think are important. And then whenever you go to do your generation, try to use those keywords. And then what I do is I just like copy and paste it into the next one, like what I filled out the first time, and then just do a little bit of tweaks. So your own custom prompt grows and grows and grows. So this is our koala bear that we generated. I apologize if I took too much time, but I hope that helps somebody. And next I will pick Dancing Joy.
Okay, cool. Sounds great. Well, hold on. I'm trying to figure out my camera. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I don't think that took too much time at all. I'd be I hoping you go into Canva as well, because I looked into Canva tools briefly and saw the new AI studio, whatever they call it, and I'm interested in learning more about it. So maybe we can hear more from you about that afterwards. So I suppose I'll share some tools now that I've been working for creative stuff. That's the format, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, I've also been experimenting with DALL-E 3 and ChatGPT ever since I came out like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But now it's like I'm using it for a bunch of stuff. I find it's better than Midjourney for a lot of purposes. Like, for example, well, I don't know, just a lot of different things that you can do that it does a different style. And another tip I saw on Twitter, by the way, is you can make it so you get like exact prompts with DALL-E as opposed to them adding. So there's lots of different things you can figure out there. And yeah, I've also been using Midjourney a lot as well for art generation and learning more about that. Midjourney's come out with new tools like the vary region feature, which has been with DALL-E for a while with in painting. But there's some really nice tools that are really helpful. I've also been looking into Runway and just tried making some videos there. That's the application. It's one of the leading ones, kind of like Pika, which I think Joe showed recently or like a month or two ago, where you can make videos. So I've been working on like making images in Midjourney and then moving them around in Runway. And I'm interested in checking out that tool that you've been using on Canva for having like the beginning and outro clips for videos. That's something that I think makes it really nice, and working on like figuring out how to grow that for social media purposes while making videos. I see your runway.m or runwayml.com. Other than that, I mean, I use Notion a lot, and I use Notion AI, and that's really helpful, not so much for images, but for writing and just general organization. And then there's a whole bunch. There's this really cool tool I like. It's called a guitar as well. I don't know if you heard about it. It's pretty high tech, but it's got these strings and you can make music on them. And then there's pianos and there's also the human voice too, which is a good one. So yeah, I mean, I can go in more detail, but I think we're talking more so like kind of like I don't know, just all sorts of tools. There's a lot of different music apps I like too that make it easy for people to make music. There's one called Groovebox, which I mentioned here at a meeting a couple months ago, which is like really nice. And I was watching Space Ranger Joe's video recently about all sorts of AI tools for making a music video that he did with Eric at the Least Coffee Shop. So I'm interested to hear what Joe wants to share here. And I've also been working with Rosemary, and Rosemary's been doing a lot of interesting work and really exciting work with content creation. So I don't know, I can go more into detail about any of those, but I didn't have anything prepared. But basically, I think Dolly Image and Midjourney Image are really exciting. I'm excited to do more videos as well with Canva and with Runway. And then for text, yeah, I suppose I could stop there, but I can also go on more if you'd like me to, or if there's any questions or comments like that. But otherwise, I can pass it on.
Yeah, so we'll have comments and questions at the end. Let's go ahead and pass it on. That way we can think about our questions, and then at the end we can sort of like ask what we want to go. But I don't. Yeah, so go ahead and pick somebody.
Sounds good. I see Space Ranger Joe just shared a tweet, so I'm gonna check that out and maybe pass it on to Space Ranger Joe while I'm at it.
All right. Sorry, I had to switch out of the old chat there. Um, cool. I love to hear all the tools everybody's working on. It's awesome. I haven't had too much chance to work with Dolly 3, a little bit just when it first came out to just like do it. And it is pretty cool, man. I like it. And the the uh, Canva thing, oh man, it is weird, right? It's pretty good, but I don't know. It just has this weird feel, like it's like a scrapbook thing, and like less of a serious software and more is like, it reminds me of Michael's, that store Michael's, like the crafting store for some reason. I don't know why, but I've had to use Canva quite a bit in the past month or so for a client I'm work with, and she does everything on Canva. And so I've I've utilized it. I've I've made some text things where I was like, you know what? I don't want to go into Photoshop or Illustrator. I'm just popping into Canva real quick and blah 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 blah. So I would say too, I've totally used it on my own quite a bit for my own purposes. Um, and yeah, and then as far as software, like I just put that link to that video. I've been making these videos, so I've been generating images and blending them and kind of creating animations with them. But then once I have it, like for instance, I did this thing combining two artists I really like, Andy Warhol and MC Escher, and then animated all of it. And then I went into that Suno, which is a free music generator thing, and I had it write me a song about Andy Warhol and MC Escher meeting and collaborating, and it did. And so then I took all my images and my animations, put it all together to this song. So I have this like completely AI generated song with like 4 or 5 different AIs. Uh, so yeah, I've been experimenting with the software a lot. And I was last week, I was supposed to do some homework. I was speaking to Douglas about the different tutorial venues, I guess, or platforms. And I was supposed to do some homework, but I got caught up, and I did want to let you guys know because it was pretty good. And I know, Douglas is a super coder, been doing stuff since he's like 16 or something. And I know, Dan's super big into governance, as we all kind of are. But so I met last Thursday for my new Upland Aliens group, which is like a fractal V governance kind of concept group, and we didn't market our trivia game very well, so we failed pretty hard at getting a bunch of guests. But we ended up talking about the hackathon that was for the unconference. And it was due Saturday, and we met Thursday night. And I and one other dude murdered it for the next 2 days, and we won the community portion of the hackathon. So my first hackathon, and I totally won at least one portion of it. So I'm pretty excited about that, because if you had asked me a year ago if I would enter a hackathon a year from now, I would have laughed in your face. So yeah, that was pretty exciting. Yeah, and so I would recommend, we're sharing softwares. I didn't look at the thing, but I'm getting the gist from the past two people. I'm thinking I would totally recommend Suno, Suno. It is on Discord. It is free for the first 25 songs each month. It's put out some gems for me. It's put out some crap, but it's put out some gems. And you basically activate it by typing in the message bar on their site, chirp, and then it pops up this little box, and it asks you if you would like to provide your own lyrics, or if you would like ChatGPT to write a song for you about, and then you can put any topic, and then you can choose the genre of music. So for someone like me who already had this artwork and a concept and all this stuff behind it, but just wanted some music to go with it, it was gold. And so I totally recommend it. Although some of the lyrics can be cheesy sometimes. All right, that's it for me. I am going to go with Rose Marie, our fellow American, for now.
Hey, okay, nice. I'll actually share my screen because I put up some of the tools that I use and I'm more familiar with, and I will share my screen. I hope the host. You have to enable me. Good.
You should have the permission.
Amazing. Thank you. Okay. So I wanted to share a few tools for good content creation. They come out handy. The first thing I'm going to show is the recent website that I helped to put together. It's about optimism fractal. And for example, what I found really interesting is the option to have a website built on Notion. So Notion app is a general, also really good tool for content creation and writing notes, and making draft posts and getting things in order. So it's a great organizational tools for content, and it's great for also content strategy and general team communication. And this website, for example, is built through Super, which have beautiful Notion templates to kickstart your website idea. And they have free versions, free templates, as well as paid ones. You can browse and build your website on using super templates in Notion and control it pretty easily without the need of a developer, and it's you just need to buy your own domain and run it from there using the guides from how this should go about, which is provided in the super.so. So it is pretty intuitive. And this is what the website could look like. This is an example of a template, very simple, but yet effective. And it goes down and you can manage your tabs here and create buttons that are also embedded in here in these sections. So it's a nice way that goes around to complete your branding and provide a nice, good experience having a website to give out to clients. Another tool that I've used a lot is the Midjourneys, which is built in Discord. And a really nice section here is that you can create topics and use these topics like folders for projects and generate prompts for each. And I've experimented a lot with the options that you see after an image has been generated. You generate an image by typing /imagine and then write down your prompt, just so in case you're not aware of that. And then one good new feature is the upscaling feature, where you can make it bigger and have more pixels in the image so that it makes it super HD, and you can zoom into specific parts of it and make it not go very pixelated, but still have that nice texture to the image. So that's a good feature, new feature that I've been trying out, as well as this feature that Dan mentioned earlier, which is very region. So let's say you have generated an image and you want to remove, let's say, this planet over here. You can click vary region and select only that part of the image that you don't want to. And then over here, you just say, let's say, no objects or clear sky. And then you regenerate the prompt, making it more clear instead of doing this manually in Photoshop or Affinity Photo, which is another very useful program to edit your photos. And as well as, of course, these two, they're really nice to vary the image subtle or strong. So this is a feature of remixing the image. And maybe I'm going into too much details, but these are nice features in case you want something along these lines, or along this theme, but slightly different. And you can do so by clicking here and describing what you want changed. And the last but not least thing that I want to mention here is of great use in case you want to build thumbnails. You can assign, as you write the prompt, the size that you want this image to be generated in. So, for example, this is the size that I want the prompt to come out as, because by default it comes out as a square. And then it's a bit harder then to go from square to the right size. So putting the size that you'd like from the get-go makes it much easier and saves time. Now I can go to Claude. This is another AI, and I've been using this for timestamping getting an initial draft version of timestamps, because Claude is still in development to get all the things right by times specifically, because the accuracy here is of high importance with regards to timestamps. So it needs more work for sure and more development, and it would improve as time goes by. But I've been using the Claude.ai software to create timestamps for meetings, which are pretty long, some of which like 2 or 3 hours. So coming up with a good timestamp from like that covers your desires and explains it into one sentence, not sentence, but one message, because there's a limitation on the number of messages you can send throughout the day. For example, I think 5 or 6 at a time, then you have to wait till it gets until after a certain time of the day to go again. So having a good prompt really makes a difference. And then it gives out some examples, and then you can say what's wrong and give it more details. If you can also minus the errors if possible. But anyway, and finally you get together a decent timestamps, and then you ask for more details, and then it gives you some kind of like a good draft that then you can go and edit the times if needed. But it's good and provides much value for the video itself, especially long videos that yes, people may not have the time to watch, and timestamps are important. So in that manner, and it adds to it. And then you can go about to also even create show notes and include the timestamps and act as, so this is an article that you can create using the timestamps. What I do is using the timestamps from Claude, refiltered after by a human, and then picking out sections that stand out the most from that long form content, and ideally cutting it into short clips too. That's effective. Maybe my presentation is too long now, but generally you can take out different sections of highlights of timestamps and then turn them into a written piece of content that acts as an article. So you can repurpose that content, making it more available for people, and also, of course, include the timestamps themselves. Runway, it's really good to generate videos using an image or an image with the text, or just a text, and then export that and use it as an intro video for videos. That's really useful too. And in Canva, we talked about this already, but I've been using Canva for a long time, but kind of stopped, moved away from it, but looking forward to coming back and just show a bit of examples on here in the social media section. There's really good templates in Canva that I really like. And for example, this is the Reels section, and you can literally pick any of these and just edit the text and make it your own and export it and post it. So it's really easy to use. And the good old Pixabay, of course, is really great for intro music or any sort of music that is copyright free and available to use. You can search for music here, or not just music, but also photos, anything that is kind of hard to get with the AI. With the AI, for example, specifically, it's usually hard to get, like if you want something particular, like let's say flowers, but roses and lilies. And I was trying so hard with to generate certain type of flowers using Midjourney. And then I remembered actually Pixabay, I can just search for that flower and just take it as an alpha with an alpha background. And it's just so, for some things, Pixabay comes in handy, like these specific images that you'd like them to look beautiful as they are, and to generate from the first time. You can just search for them or use it for music as mentioned. And yes, that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Let me know if you have any questions.
Wow, that was a whole presentation. I learned a lot, and thank you for taking the time and sharing all of these tools with us.
My pleasure.
All right, so yeah, now it's time. We'll have some like discussions and questions. Does anybody want to lead? Or I mean, just if you have a question, throw it out. That's what I'm trying to say. For anybody.
Yeah, I have a question about ChatGPT. It's because I'm aware that Midjourney you can generate certain images, but then after a point there's a limit, right? So you have to pay some sort of membership or something like that, right? Is that the same with ChatGPT, or is it's a different approach?
Maybe somebody knows more about this or the Midjourney model, and how much you can get for free. I'm not exactly sure.
I can answer. Yeah, so Midjourney limits you to 25, it might even be 20 now, to try it, kind of, and then it makes you join up. And the cheapest version is $10 US a month. I only know US. I don't know if it's different for other countries, but it's $10 US. And there is a way to earn free stuff beyond that 10, like if you run out, but 10 is usually enough for most people. And then the Chat GPT, the 4 model is a paid subscription. I will say that it's if you do pay for ChatGPT 4, it comes with all of these plugins, like crazy amount of plugins like that you can utilize with your paid ChatGPT 4 subscription. But there still is ChatGPT 3.5 that's free, and you can teach it. So, in other words, like one of the big problems that people had was the old GPT was, I think it only went through 2021 as far as like knowledge and stuff goes. So if you tried to get it to talk about something contemporary, it would just not have any idea of that even happened. But what you can do is you can teach it, right? So you could take the old free one and you could teach it about Aquadac. So Aquadac happened since that time, right? So you could create a whole little brief history about Aquadac, feed it to your free chat GPT 3.5, and then say, hey, write me something about Aquadac now that you know about it. You know what I mean? So there are ways around it. So there is a free version and there is a paid version. It's long, short story long, or long story short. There you go.
Okay, so there is what is the limit for ChatGPT?
So ChatGPT, it has like a limit of, I think, like 25 messages per 4 hours. And I think that applies across, like, if you're using text or Dolly. I haven't seen additional limits on Dolly to say like, oh, you can only do 10 images per 3 hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it does reset fairly often. I had ChatGPT Pro and then I got rid of it and then I got it back once they had Dolly. And yeah, I don't think I ran out of messages since I got it back.
Okay. So yeah, because the other day I was looking for one of these and I found one, but there's always this like the same as Midjourney that you can only use 25 and 20, yeah, and then that's it. If you're close to one picture that you want to get it really right, and then you get to the limit, and you're done.
Well, yeah,
So
you just wait. Well, yeah, but in ChatGPT you would just wait. So I don't know about
yeah.
Midjourney, but so you could still in that same chat is what I'm trying to say. Like it won't reset the chat. So you could continue with that.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. It resets like every day. Sorry, you say something now?
3 hours it resets. And also like
Only.
Cloud is really good as far as their free model. And the thing about Claude is you can put a lot more text in there because there's 100K context window. And the widest context window in GPT-4 is like 32K. So that's just like refers to how much text you can put in. So Claude is definitely better for like summarizing a longer piece of text. It's easier than trying to put a bunch of different things into GPT.
I get it. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, okay, thank you. And I have another question as well. Can be all my questions like in one bunch, or just yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I had my questions about super, like for Rosemary, that I thought sounds super, super interesting to me that you had this, you said it's very intuitive, and I wonder if like you buy the domain and then you have to, it is similar than this other, I guess I would say WordPress or the other, I don't remember the name, the other one that is popular as well. Or what would be the benefits you would say? Because I'm sure you're used more than this one on using this one, or how much is it easier, or is it like more? It's, I don't know. It is a lot of space for editing the templates that you already chosen, or is how much flexible can it get?
Well, I think I've used the WordPress for a little time, to be honest. So I don't have that much of a comparison background for websites, and I'm very new at the websites building set of skills. I'm still building on it. I'd say that this one, from what I've seen, is copying it gives each template has a script, and then it's about copying that script into Notion page and giving permissions and associating pages to that template so that it makes sense and you make it your own. So it is flexible in terms of you can change it pretty easily, but then if you'd like to go off very far from what the original template is built on, then that might be difficult, and unless you understand from coding, I guess. But generally, switching between templates, I think it's easy. And in terms of flexibility, I think WordPress is more flexible to edit templates, which are already pre-made, versus this one. But I'm not, I don't have like that much of experience with it. Maybe Dan can talk more about that, if you can. Because he's had more years of experience working with Super, but I've seen the benefits of it more so than the setting up part, and I haven't had to make any big changes myself. So Dan, do you have any more feedback?
Yeah, basically I can just add that Super does give you the option to configure it with HTML and CSS code, and they have a support team. So like if you want to change it around a lot, and then you can. And I've messed around with that and asked some questions, and also with tools like ChatGPT, you can do a lot quicker. But for the most part, Super, like it's pretty simple. You don't really need to deal with that unless you really want to get into it. You can just use the template, and then they also have a bunch of like pre-built-in options for how you want to display like the nav bar or configure pages and stuff like that. And that's all pretty easy to point and click within Super.so. And it works very well. And it's very nice too, because having it all in Notion in one spot, it allows you to edit it like really fast and get all the benefits of Notion. I've also used a lot of different types of website creation tools in the past, and Super has been by far the most useful for the use cases what I've been doing for those reasons.
Oh, okay. So whenever you are adapting the text or something script in Notion, it automatically updates it in the website as well because it's connected to this app, right?
Yep,
right?
that's correct. Yeah, and sometimes you just need to refresh it or wait like 5 minutes or something like that. But yeah, pretty much it all happens automatically. So you just write in Notion and then it shows up on the website.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Okay, yeah, I think that would be all my questions. Thank you so much, and I'm so sorry for not sharing much of mine. I didn't. I apologize for that. I'll do better.
I think that what you shared is useful, and like yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out because I think it looks better for what I need. the we pick thing. All right, who else
Yeah.
has questions, or else I do too? Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say that just to add, I guess, a bit more about this app that I'm using, because it's connected to Pexels and also to this other one. How is it called? Unsplash. So you can directly, when you add images, you know how to go to the other website, download the image, and put it in there and upload it. Just automatically search directly in the search bar inside the Wiki app, and then you can find the image that you want and then insert it directly there. And also there is a lot of elements and illustrations there from Weebit, which is already a platform that was existing before for digital creators and stuff, that where they put other vectors and all this type of elements. So you can also type in there the element, and they will search from like all the website of Weebit, and you can insert all these elements. And also they have these AI writing thing text that I try. Actually, I didn't like it much, but some people that if you want something simple, I guess it will help. And you can export it, and you can also share links like that, and as a presentation. There's a bunch of templates that you can search from many like Canva, let's say, something like that. It's something I really like, and it's been very, very comfortable for me, because you can really edit super simple. There's not much complexity in terms of edition and adjusting the spaces and adjusting the text, and everything is super fast, super fast. I've been working really fast with that. And I guess the only limitation is when you put the links, that you can put a link to certain word. You have to create a different text, but that's the only limitation I've found so far. But yeah, and there is this other app for they use for music. Maybe you guys want to check it out, because I think it's very precious and gold. And every time I need music, I always go to Upbeat. It's like I think about T. If I'm not wrong, if you can help me, Doug. Upbeat.co, I think it is. So it's like there's a bunch of copyright free music that you can find there. It's really super good quality songs, and also long ones and short ones, and they have categorized it really well. And they do have a certain limitation, but it resets, something like that, like, I think a month, but they have a ton of options. So sometimes I don't even have to worry about resetting it, because it will by the time I need it again, it will be already reset it, because they give me a lot of downloads. And yeah, so far, yeah, that would be my, to complement a bit for my I don't know, sharing. Thank you.
Cool. And I am saving all these links, so I'll share them in the group chat and for the YouTube description when I for this video. What other questions do we have? I have a question. So, Space Wrangler, what are you using to take me through a little bit of like your videos? Because I was just looking on your Twitter, and I really dig the videos. So I was curious, like, are you're generating like a series of image, and then are you using like a tool to sort of animate those or morph those, or is there AI involved in that as well, like creating the animation between one image and the other?
Yeah, so okay, on the Twitter ones, like I put up, what did I, is it like an orange one? Yes, okay. So that one is a combination of Mid Journey, and so what I'll do is I'll generate an image that I like, and then I will zoom out, and you can custom zoom and do different stuff with the zoom, which I didn't mention earlier. And I heard Rosemarie mention that, if you make something a square, sometimes it's hard to work with. I wanted to like chime in and let her know that if she has a square of something that she's like, oh, that would be great for my video, but it's not 16 by 9, which I need. she can go in and she can hit custom zoom, and then she can make it just zoom out on the side so it fits the screen, if she really likes that image. So I wanted to mention that too. But yeah, so for these, so then I'll zoom out. Yeah, so for this one, I'm zooming out, and then I'll do a uh the four sides. So I'll choose four that I like, and then I'll blend those ones in runway in this thing called frame interpolation. So uh that one's just straight up zoom. Um these ones are blend in runway. So these are made in mid journey, and then the audio I made with music gen for that one. There's like little Halloween stuff. That one's just I was just working at a festival. It would be up the other way. Oh, fourth wall, that one I made with a sketch design. That one's pretty cool. That's an AI where you can pop in any logo, any design, and it's got all these different things you can choose from. And then again, I used Runway ML to blend all those images. Um, and then, okay, yeah, so, and then Pika animation, like that last one with the horses. So I took that image that I generated and that image that I generated, and then I just animated them multiple times. And then I just switched back and forth because it's kind of weird that these little baby horses are alive. So every time it switches to the bird, it makes this like cuckoo, cuckoo, like crazy noise. And I added a bunch of little sound effects and stuff in there. Um, and yeah, so this is done in Pika and Midjourney. And then ultimately CapCut. I've been trying to use CapCut more, of that free video editing software.
All right. Yeah, those are pretty cool, and thank you for sharing your secret techniques with us.
Happy to.
Cool. Yeah, I was trying to remember the name of it. I actually did a Skillshare class about this was like even before, or sort of maybe a year ago when AI started to get big. But before DALL-E got really famous, there's this one that would let you kind of blend two images. But I think it just does kind of like similar to what you're using. And I think that you're getting really cool results with the zooming in and zooming out. And yeah, like I look forward to seeing what comes out of Joe and the AI box next.
Cool.
All
Thanks.
right.
Yeah, oh sorry. I was gonna ask about the super on Notion. I still have been lagging on using Notion. I made an HTML site 20 years ago. I have made multiple sites on like Wix or WordPress or these other easy UI plug and play kind of things. Um, no real JS or any kind of real coding. Just like you're moving things around pretty much. Front end style with these things. So uh, that's kind of what I'm used to now. And so I'd love to see or hear more about this sequence. So because I haven't checked out Notion that much either. But is it like a Wix or like I saw that it's like website templates? Is that what's going on? Is anybody
Yeah.
sorry.
Things like website templates. It's super.so /templates. So it does look like a website.
So yeah, I guess like the advantage of that is like you don't have to leave Notion, So if you already have Notion in your workflow, all you got to do is kind of incorporate that tool, and then you have the website, so you don't have to publish things two different times. You can just keep all your workflow in Notion.
Yeah, it also makes it like really quick too, because like you're able to make updates really quickly and share it in Notion or in the website form. So I use that for the meetings I host with like Eden Fractal and stuff, and pretty much all the websites I use. And then it's also nice because it's collaborative too. So it has all the permission sharing structure, so you can collaborate with people. Yeah, if you're curious more about it, Joe, happy to go through. I filmed a little intro tutorial with Eric about it, and Eric published it like that was probably like 3 or 4 months ago, and then a couple weeks ago actually, or maybe last week, as I was building the website with Rosemary for Optimism Fractal, we also did a little video there too. So we're aiming to make more content, and yeah, we'd be happy to share more, and perhaps we can collaborate and stuff like that. It's a helpful tool, and Notion in general, I encourage you to check it out too. It's a super helpful way to collaborate, and then and Super kind of goes along with that. But if you don't use Notion, then Super would be more of a learning curve because I mean Notion's pretty simple, but it has a lot of features, and then the more you learn of it, the more useful Super will become as well.
Cool. Yeah. Send me a link to one of those videos and I'll watch it and like it and be one of your viewers and learners.
Cool, sounds good. Yeah, I'll share it. I'll try to find it now, and I'll try to share it in the Zoom chat. And thanks for watching and so forth. I'm curious to hear what you think about it.
Yeah.
I'm also curious, by the way. I don't know if anybody has other questions, but I don't have my thing on. Okay, yeah. But yeah, people mentioned Canva a few times. If anyone wants to go into more detail, I think Gudasol usually end the meeting in like 8 minutes. I don't know if you're trying to wrap it up. We could always save it for another time. But I'm curious if you or anybody else wanted to go into more detail about how you use that. It'd be cool to learn, especially with the new AI features.
Yeah, well, wait, am I muted? Hold on. Can you
No,
hear me?
you're open.
No, I can hear you.
I was muted a minute ago. So I haven't been using the AI features, but I can share screen for a second and do a little canvaing. Yeah, so okay, for example, this is kind of exactly what I was just talking about when I was doing my presentation. So what I did here, this is like something that's coming straight out of ChatGPT. Also, this is Pixie the Unicorns. Here we go. This Pixie's album art right here. Pixie's releasing a new song in a couple days. So I
That's
was
great. Really?
yeah, no, Pixie, he's on Spotify. He just has one song with me, but this song is going to be Pixie the Unicorn featuring Gudasol. So it'll be Pixie's first real release. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
No offense there, buddy, but you got to recognize the star, bro, when you see one, you know? Come
I
on.
know, actually, I'm writing my first song in Spanish, so I'm really excited about it, and I wanted to just share that. Anyway, so I was talking about Canva. I was just showing you. So I got this layer, and this layer is just like right from the AI. But like I was saying, the text is never going to be really good. So if you add any text, then you can just go to the effects, and or maybe it's not effects. It's like an animation. Animate. That's it. So if you choose one of these animations, like, it's not super advanced or anything like that, but it's a little bit better than, it's better than having AI try to generate the text. And then you just share it and you download it as an MP4, right? So, and it actually lets you do a 1080p full HD video. And then that video will just be that little short section, and you can match that to music or whatever later. So yeah, like that's a very basic example, but you could, of course, animate multiple elements. You could have the background moving, things like that. Yeah, not a whole full intro on Canva, but that's kind of specifically what we were talking about. And then if anyone's unfamiliar with Canva, it is sort of like what Curly was saying, in that there is a lot of free elements, and also you can use the you can use Pixabay as, or not Pixabay, but like these images come from one of those free
Oh,
sites that you mentioned. So there are a lot of sort of free images already built in to Canva as well that you can sort of use without any restriction. And then the editing is very basic. You know, it's a free tool, but yeah, that's a little short Canva introduction. I guess the last thing is text. Yeah. So that's why I use Canva, right? Is because it just has all these cool texts. So it's super easy to get an image and then you get like one of these sort of loud texts. And then you just animate it and you know it makes something that looks kind of professional. Maybe not this example, but yeah, that's what I've been doing with Canva.
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I,
Thanks for the overview.
the person I work with, just to give a different angle too, like she's an author, right? And so she does a bunch of different books. And one of the ones she does is coloring books and like crosswordy, blah, blah, blah type things. And that's where she lays out everything in Canva for her book. So there's a whole nother use case for you.
Okay. Okay, guys. So one thing, I don't know if anybody forgot, but one thing I want to keep doing here in this meeting is to keep track of like our weekly progress. So last season, I just shared the docs in there. We're not going to do like a rating thing right now. Like, I don't know, you can if you want to. I'm not going to tell you yes, I'm not going to tell you no. Like you can certainly like rate people if you want. I just think like we don't really have enough time to sort of go through that. But I do think it's important to keep our at the very least to keep track of like what our reflections are in a weekly win and a weekly lesson. So on these, let's see. What season are we on? We're in episode 4, right? Underneath episode 4, there's a blank space for that. Also, we can, if you want to talk about the rating, like we definitely can. My feeling is we're sort of doing this experiment of the brain, I keep saying brain, of the mind, the mastermind. Can't talk today, I apologize. My feeling is we're doing this experiment of mastermind, so I'm not going to like push the rating thing or like make it a big deal. I'm giving everybody participation NFTs for each meeting that you attend. So at the end of the season, you'll get like one NFT for each meeting that you attended. So I do need attendance, right? And for that, like this also serves a purpose as well. But more importantly, it's to quickly look back and see what we've learned and like how we've grown in in this past season. So I think we're on episode 4, although I'm not sure if we're technically on episode 5, but we're actually missing one of these, so we'll just go on episode 4. By your name, you can fill in like a lesson that you want to take forward and you want to remember. It doesn't have to be related to this topic, but it does have to be related to this week. So this is a sort of reflection of what you're learning this week and what you want to carry forward. So, and also I did want to kind of talk about that. Like I'll kind of shut up and give you guys some time to think and reflect and write, but also like I think it is good to if you want to like share, oh, I had this because of this, that's fine. Mhm. Anonymous Liger, that's nice. I have a lot of wins this week. Yeah, you can put more than one win if you want, but at least one win.
I'll have to update my Google Sheets here. It'll be a minute before I can type.
Do you mind reiterating, Gudasol, what you want there? You said wins, like that we thought that we had this week, or
Yeah, so like this is kind of a technique of weekly meetings, especially business meetings, is like it's nice to have each team members talk about one win that they had for that week. Usually it's related to work, obviously. But for this, ideally, yeah, it could be related to what we're working on. It should be. I'm not setting a very good example at that, but it's just something that you're really proud of that you did this week.
okay. Thanks for the overview.
Yeah, and then the lesson is like whatever it's exactly what it sounds like. It's something that you learned in the past week. That's a small tidbit that you can then take forward to future weeks.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Mm,
Hey, Douglas, while I'm waiting for my Google Sheets to update here, it's almost done. I was hoping to ask you at some point. We got some funding for our hackathon, but not enough to get any real development done, but at least to kind of explore. And I know you're really great with coding and with Wax blockchain and all that. So I was hoping that maybe at some point here, um, I could touch base with you and kind of get an idea about how much it would cost to actually get the development done that we need so that I can kind of set like a budget goal and try to start seeing, okay, this is the money we need to raise. This is, a realistic time frame and that kind of thing. Is
Yeah.
that something you think you might be able to do?
I can definitely like hook you up with the right people. I just was given an invite and joined this sort of DAO of Wax developers like just yesterday. So they had me like fill out a form and like show what I did for development. I mostly did it out of curiosity. I'm not looking for like, I'm not really available as a paid developer right now. But I actually joined because I wanted to learn more about React, and that was kind of how they pitched it. So I'll send you a link to them and you can talk to them about like they would be the people because they have multiple developers, so they could probably give you like an accurate quote. Of course, I write all my code. I've never actually paid a developer to do anything for me. So I don't really have an idea. And whenever I try to get a quote, it's very expensive. So yeah, I've been trying to hire a developer for a few months, although like now I don't have really the funding to do that. But I was being very optimistic when I was sort of looking to hire a developer. So I would love to, I guess, continue on that journey with you of learning, and perhaps even ask some of the questions and share the information because I also want to know how much that would cost. So yeah, but you know more about your thing, so I'll share my contact and then maybe we can both do a little exploring and learn more about how much we need to hire developers in this space.
Cool.
All right, cool. So okay, let's talk for a few minutes. We are a few minutes over, but yeah, no worries. I would like to just give everybody a chance to talk about their win. But before we do that, we have a dancing hand
Here's my dancing hand. Is my camera working? I can't tell right now. Okay, there we go. Okay, never mind. Okay, cool. Yeah, so a couple things I wanted to mention. So I guess there's like three or four things, and I'll just try to go really quickly. One is that I was trying to fill out the win and lesson, but I don't think it works on mobile, at least like when I'm in Zoom. So it's a little bit difficult to do it. And then I was trying to also listen to the conversation at the same time as like writing it and think about it. So I don't know, maybe like and I wrote it in the Zoom chat, but then I wanted to raise my hand and then I lost in the Zoom chat because Zoom chat deleted it on mobile. So I just want to make a note of that. Like it's a little bit, it was a little bit trying to get that. So I figured maybe I could just say it, and thanks for the opportunity to say it. So win, I suppose, I don't know which one to pick, but I guess that the past few weeks or past for a while, at these meetings, I was talking about like what the plan was for the season that I was going to focus on, and then also just in general, I was providing a lot of updates about what I was working on with Rosemary, on the optimism stuff, like with Optimism Fractal and the Optimistics. I don't think those ones are recorded, the Aquadac calls, but yeah, I suppose that can be the win, and I'm very happy to share that we hosted the first Optimism Fractal meeting, and that we also submitted our application for Retro PGF, the Optimism program that we previously discussed that we're excited about, and that's for Optimistics. So we kind of had like a soft launch of both Optimistics and Optimism Fractal that I'm stoked about. So that's like a dual win, I guess, for this week. And then the lesson, I don't know, there's been a huge amount of lessons right now that I've learned here. So it'd be tough to pick one, but I don't know, be optimistic is maybe one of them I can go with, or just and then also use Dolly and Canva and learn from friends about how to use great tools. So I could try to refine that into a shorter one, but I suppose be optimistic, and then launching optimism projects might be the way to put it shorter. Optimism Fractal and Optimistics. And then also while I was speaking, I just wanted to also there was one question I wanted to ask you, Gudasol. I could do it afterwards, but I was curious if you're going to join the Fractalpalooza that Eric is hosting tomorrow. He's hosting at the Eden Fractal. And then also I wanted to invite everybody to join the Optimism Fractal meeting. So we hosted the first one on Friday, and we're going to be hosting them every Monday at 17 UTC thereafter. It's going to be really exciting. As you saw, Rosemary shared their website before, so thanks so much, Rosemary, for sharing that and all the really cool stuff. And yeah, there's details on the website of how it works. Basically, it's working to help grow optimism. It's a new community, and we're applying the respect game and condensed games that we've experimented with here at Aquadac. And I'm also really excited about Aquadac and how it's forming to end the season with the mind what I'm lacking the word right now, but
Do the same thing.
mind
Mastermind.
master. Mastermind. That's what I was thinking. Mind master, mastermind. Yeah. So I'm really liking
I like
Mastermind
Master
too.
Best.
What do you say,
So-
Master what?
I thought he said Master Mess at first. I was like,
Master
all
Mess.
right. Sounds like my kitchen.
Cool. I just saw Corellia said she has to get off the car, so saying goodbye. Thanks so much today. And making AI sounds. Thanks, Corellia.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. Did I mean? Yeah. Thank you. I'm about to get off right now. So thank you for everything, and have a good night or day, and have to see you next week. Okay. Take care, and thank you for everything. Bye bye.
Thank you. See you next week. Happy
Bye-bye.
travels.
Thanks, Corellia.
Thank you.
Happy travels. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just saying that those were the wins and the lessons, and invite everybody to join the Optimum Fractal, and we're happy to see you there and discuss and everything like that. And go in more details later, but I know we're a bit over, so best back to you, Crystal, and thank you very much.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, I'll definitely come to that thing tomorrow. I just need to convert the time into my time zone so I don't miss it. But yeah, like I don't have anything pressing on my schedule, so I would love to be there. Also, I wanted to say, I should say this at every meeting. if you are not available to put it in the docs, you can just talk it and I'll write it, or just put it in the meeting chat and I'll copy it over to the document. I am in full secretary mode in the background. And Dan, did you have anything else, or you just got your hand raised because of the Zoom?
Thanks. No, I was just trying to do a little dancing hand over here again, but that was it. And thanks for that very much. I'll lower the dancing hand now.
Okay, so does anybody want to share anything about like their lesson or their win before we go? And thanks that Dan did. I will go first. I want to talk about like the high level mind state. That's something that's been helping me in this past week. A lot of times, I'm always trying to optimize. I'm trying to do things quickly. I'm trying to maximize my short bursts of inspiration and energy into something that solidifies and I can break it off as a valuable thing before, I forget about it or go do something else. So in that vein, I watched this TED Talk by Corday, which is this rapper that I actually am a fan of his. And he was talking about, the high level mindset of like, don't settle for less than your best. And, if you're going to do something, do it right, because if you don't do it right the first time, you're going to have to do it again. So I experienced that. I have a $600 microphone, a Neumann microphone, but yet I recorded these videos for the NFT standards, which is one of the wins. I released some NFT standards for atomic assets on Wax. But I recorded it just like laying on my bed, like with my mouth on the audio of like my laptop. And I'm thinking, I was not being my high level mind state. So after I made the videos and everything like that, I uploaded it, but I didn't publish it. I was like, no, I'm not doing my best. So I went back and I took the audio and I spent like another hour in Audition, cleaning up the audio, editing the audio so it sounded better, so that I'm putting this professional image on the project. So that was my lesson for this week, and one that I hope to continue to carry forward. And and part of that is starts right here. That's doing the best that I can for you all at this meeting, including myself, because I'm a member of this meeting too. I'm also trying to grow myself. I'm also trying to move my projects forward. So yeah, that's what I got to say. That's my reflection. And Rosemary or Joe, would you like to share any of your lessons or reflections before we go? Lessons or wins, I mean.
So thanks for sharing. My my wins are getting across something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but I didn't really prioritize. And it's cutting short clips, and I made some things that I've had on my list to do for a long time. For example, tweeting and helping launch Optimus Fractal, but in general, I agree. I'm struggling with the efficiency versus time and kind of perfectionism in that. And for example, I was cutting the clips, but didn't have that much time to spend on them, and I was like kind of skipping a bit. And then there were some actually edits that I had to redo. I had like a similar situation to you. Like I cut the clips, I uploaded them to YouTube, named them, everything, but as unlisted. And then I had to like make change to the very first clip that I uploaded, and then I wanted to keep the chronological order, so I had to redo. And still, I think for clips, like I was still even considering to do some extra, extra work to make it extra sleek, but at the same time, it's also kind of deadlines approaching, and that's why it's important to keep top priorities on the top, because but then you learn. So yeah, that's why I keep learning. as my, I think, it's something that I wanna as my lesson, because of course for audio it's also good to use transcript, for example, to cut the ums. And yeah, I'm planning to do this in the future. But yeah, there are different ways to make content even better. And yes, I am keep on learning.
Great. Yeah, I apologize if I was distracting you. I realized that probably was a little rude. I realized I didn't say these tools, and then you mentioned short form. I was like, oh, I should have said something. But these are two that I've been using, and like super secret. But what I've been doing is like I try to get like a free account, and then just I use the demo one, so I never actually pay them. But you can do that to get a fair amount of clips. Opus, they don't have any watermarks on their like free version, but they can take like any long form video, and then it'll generate shorts for you with the captions on them. So YouTube shorts and things like that. It'll give you like 12 different versions. You can pick what you want. And then Veed is, I think Veed is, no, maybe I wasn't using Veed. I'm sorry. But there was one other one that I apologize. I can't remember the name right now. Anyway, so that's a little bit too little too late. But you inspired me to say that, and thank you for sharing your stuff, and it's good to grow together. Joe, you got any reflections for us before we go?
Yeah, no, just I appreciate all you guys, and you know, I think my win with the hackathon thing, and so my whatever lesson is like, don't underestimate yourself, or don't pigeonhole yourself and think that you can't do something. Obviously, don't think you can jump off the side of a building and survive or something crazy. But just don't pigeonhole yourself. Like, believe that you can do it and put in your hard effort and give things a shot, and who knows what'll happen.
Yeah, 100%. And I think like that's where we get our value. It's like speaking as somebody who's spent more than a decade programming, there's always going to be somebody who's going to have a more successful app than me, because they have a knowledge of something else that they're bringing onto the space. And we often think like we don't have the skills to do something that we want to do. And we then we go back to our pigeonhole because we know, okay, well, I can do this, and this is my territory. You know what I mean? But it is those people that are bold that then outshine who may be more, I guess, prepared to be successful in art. The best technical artists are never the most famous. And then obviously we get into something about popularity, but like for you, Joe, like I know that you can make an incredible app. Like, and I think that that's sort of what you've been leaning to and exploring for a while now. And like, I love watching that journey. And I know that, that limitation of maybe you don't have a bunch of program experience, that's not going to hold you back at all. You're making the social connections. You're making the, A, B, and C that you need to do, funding whatever it takes to get whatever it is that you're planning, whatever it is that you're dreaming up into form. So thank you for sharing that lesson. And that's a little words of encouragement to keep going on it.
Thanks.
Okay, so we don't I guess have like a topic for next week. I said that probably the worst possible way. We do need to pick or decide upon like a topic for next week. We don't have to do that right this second right now. But I do want to open the floor to, what do we want to, does anybody have a strong feeling of what they would be interested to learn or to discuss or to bring as the topic for next week?
I think that we should either do like this one seemed to be software focused, right?
Mhm.
And so we all tend to use that pretty much. And so I think the next time uh, we should either discuss music, like what kind of music tools or software, or just personal music experience, or uh, meditative stuff. Like because Corellia seems to be more onto that stuff a little bit, and you guys are more on the music stuff too. So I think either one of those could work, and we could all benefit from either one of those topics.
Okay. I love that you know we are very musical people, so why not? I'm trying to think about like how we can fit that into, you know, to expand it a little bit. Like you said, meditation. So what if it's like, so you're thinking about music generation, like specifically?
Um, or I mean, okay, so the mastermind thing's kind of new to me. What was the topic in WhatsApp for today?
So
I mean,
we're doing content creation today. Like what some of the other formats, I'm going to share them in the chat right now, but I'll read them. Like audience building, legal, and like marketing was a few things that we were talking about. I would love to take a detour and talk about things like how you get in the vibe or like the flow state or like the meditation. You know, that's where I was trying to get to. It that is like we could do something about like workflow, like our own personal workflows, how we get the most productivity out of ourselves, how we can, you know, be hard on ourselves when we need to be to produce the best things.
I love that. I love that. That would be great to hear some of your guys' tools to try to utilize them for myself and opposite, right? I
Okay,
don't know
so
about you guys, but I have procrastination issues that pop up every now and then.
I do too. All the time. I don't like to say I have ADHD, but I have symptoms, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's do
Uh,
focus and flow. I do want to give Dan and Rosemary a chance if they want to say anything, but if you're down, I would certainly love to do a focus and flow talk for next week.
Okay, I'm up for it.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, we're about 25 minutes over, which is perfectly fine. It's been really, this is a great time. And thank you all for being here. It's been a pleasure being here with you all. Any last words, or should we throw up gang signs and make weird noises?
gang, gang.
It sounds great, and thank you for the great meeting. And also, it's difficult because I'm holding my phone. But hey, two of
Yeah,
them.
I'm doing the one hand version over here.
Yeah.
One hand,
Let me go across. There's the cross with the
There
A with
you
the
go.
tongue.
Okay, cool.
That got creepy. Never mind. Sorry.
Oh, we got a Rosemary on screen.
All right.
Exciting. All right. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Corellia, who's left. See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks
Bye,
all.
guys.
Good talk. See you. Have a good day. Bye. Thanks.
Peace.